Welcome back to Town Talk with Ted on News Talk 1230 WFVA. You can weigh in on today's Town Talk topic on Facebook. Just search News Talk 1230 WFVA. Now, your host, Ted Schugel.
City Councilman Matt Kelly with us this morning as we talk transportation.
I love what I do. I like being able just to talk to a wide variety of people and find out their stories or find out things that they do in and out of life, what they do day to day. I have doctors come in, nurses, patients, people who've gone through situations, and they'll come in, tell their story, or promote a certain month, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, Colon Cancer Awareness Month. I knew at 50 you had to have a colonoscopy, and I had not had one, because in my life I had never been sick. Since early 80s when I came to this area, I've probably missed 2-3 days at the most for sickness, so why would you go to the doctor?
I first met Ted several years ago, before he was ever a patient of mine, doing a colon and rectal cancer awareness radio piece.
How long does the procedure take?
It depends on each individual, but typically it takes about 30 minutes.
Ted was very interested in what I was saying. Not only was he giving the interview as a radio personality, but you could tell he was actually listening to the information. And at the end of our radio session, he clearly had some additional questions and was now well aware that he was indicated for a screening.
But I said, yeah, I've heard about the prep. And he said the prep, it's not as bad as people say. And he said, give me 24 hours, I'll give you 20 years. And that was just like, whoa. The procedure itself, we went in on a Monday morning, did it was about a half hour. After the procedure, he went and said to my wife, everything looks good, I'll see him in the office in a week. So I'm just thinking, yes, gotten this taken care of, maybe we'll do this in 5 years.
So his initial colonoscopy was pretty normal. There's one small area of his colon that I was a little bit concerned about. He had an unusual mass in the far right-hand side of his large intestine, at the beginning of his large intestine, that wasn't visually concerning as an obvious cancer or obvious malignancy, but was something that it was noteworthy, and so we wanted to follow that with close surveillance.
We went in and did it again next year, and this time he says to my wife, I'll need to see him in a week, but I'm going to need to see him again. We're going to need to do another check in either 3 months, 6 months, or a year. And so I thought something's not right. And when I went in to finally meet with him, a few weeks had lapsed since the colonoscopy, and they had done some tests at Mayo Clinic, and it had come back cancer. When you get told you have cancer, you want to be told it's treatable and we got it early. And those were the two things they told me.
The mass actually came back unusual fine for a colonoscopy. He had a follicular lymphoma, which is a type of cancer in the lymph nodes that's unusual but can be found in the intestinal system, and we were able to diagnose it through his colonoscopy, and we needed to do something about it, and so I removed it at that time of his colonoscopy.
When we first sat down with Dr. Vaughn, and it couldn't have gone any better, because I went in really not knowing much, and he said this is very treatable, and we know a lot about this cancer. And I remember thinking as he talked to us, boy, if you're going to get cancer, this is about as good of prognosis as you can get.
In Ted's circumstance, though, he had a higher grade lymphoma, so therefore it was more aggressive and would have caused some trouble. And so the prognosis is good in the fact that we caught it very early, and there is some potential of curability when you catch an aggressive lymphoma like that early. As a doctor and involved with a condition like this, it's very warning because it can be treated very effectively. There can be some great long-term benefits for him, and he can, he should hopefully have a normal life after this. He's in such good shape and health-wise, there shouldn't be any really long-term effects from the treatment.
The doctors are so knowledgeable. And obviously, Dr. Fortunato is a hero. Dr. Vaughn is a hero. I mean, they both saw this and just aggressively took care of it.
I always tell my patients, you don't need to go to a big city when you have a big problem. We can take care of all that here in your hometown. and that's a huge benefit to the patients and their family as they go through their process. Having the cancer center in this region shows a very strong commitment to the patients in this region.
I go in and do everything locally, so I can still work. I've been able to continue to work, haven't missed a day, because I've been able to work all my schedules around what I do.
What's amazing is I think the medical community here is fascinating, and we have some great experts in fields of oncology care, surgeons, radiation oncologists, medical oncologists, where we realize that really cancer care to excel has to involve all specialties and coordinate the care.
You say that, I've got a little lucky charm on my shoulder. I do, because this could have easily not been treated. I don't take health for granted anymore, but I'm much more appreciative of it now, because in one afternoon, just like that, a doctor can sit down and say to you, you've got cancer. And in my case, treatment will end, I'll go back and be monitored for a while, and under best case scenario, I go on with my life again.